ceremonia de clausura del Foro de Gobernanza de Internet 2016. En esta ceremonia de clausura tendremos la oportunidad de escuchar a representantes de las diferentes partes interesadas que son parte de esta comunidad. Es para mí un gran honor presentarles a nuestro primer orador, el señor Yuan Su, director de la División de Desarrollo Sostenible del Departamento de Asuntos Económicos y Sociales de las Naciones Unidas, en representación del Secretario General para el Desarrollo de las Naciones Unidas.
Yes, Mr. Su, you have the floor.
Mr. Su, you have the floor.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends joining us online from around the world, I am very pleased to deliver the closing statement on behalf of the United Nations Under-Secretary General for Economic and Social Affairs, Mr. Wu Hongbo. Today marks the successful conclusion of the 11th Internet Governance Forum. The United Nations is extremely grateful to the government of Mexico. Thank you, Mexico. Gracias, Mexico. We, the United Nations, thank Mexico not only for their great generosity, but also for their strong commitment to the IGF. It was in 2013, nearly 3 years ago, when Mexico first stepped forward to offer to host this IGF, the first in the new 10-year mandate endorsed by the UN General Assembly at the WSIS Plus 10 review last December. I want to take this occasion to thank the leadership of Mr. Victor Lagunes, CIO from the Office of the President, who is also the co-chair of the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group of the IGF. Thank you, Victor. In this really beautiful state of tequila, we certainly cannot thank enough the great support of Mr. Aristoteles Sandoval, Governor of Jalisco, and Mr. Pablo Lemo Navarro, Mayor of Zapopan. Thank you both. We also thank all colleagues from the Mexican government who worked with us patiently throughout the preparatory process. We should also acknowledge in particular more than 300 volunteers of the local community. We thank the local volunteers who helped tirelessly during the past week and makes this event successful. May I invite all the volunteers to stand up and let's give them a warm round of applause. not forgetting the participants seated on the floor. We would also like to thank you, the participants of the IGF 11. There were more than 2,000 on-site participants from over 80 countries. You allocated your time to be here with us in Mexico this week. You worked hard to prepare for your sessions. You were away from your loved ones, your other duties and functions. That is why we believe you deserve also a round of sincere gratitude and applause from all of us. Thank you. The IGF certainly cannot be detached from the Internet. We had many remote participants bringing additional insights and perspective. There were more than 10,000 live YouTube viewers following our session. I'm sure the recording of the sessions at IGF 11 will reach many more thousand viewers. There were more than 100 sessions held this past week, ranging from main sessions, open forums, workshops, to lightning sessions, and also other informal, innovative gatherings and side events. We gratefully recognize the outstanding preparatory work done by every member of the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group, MAC, under the guidance of Ms. Ling Sanamua, the chair. Ling, can you stand up, please? Let everyone give Ling a warm round of applause. We also thank all the UN staff for the conference services, security, news coverage, communications outreach, remote participation, and technical infrastructure. I also want to take this opportunity to thank my UN partners, the agencies, including the regional commissions, the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, ITU, UNCTAD, UNESCO, UNICEF, WIPO, and others. Thank you for their active participation. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the national and regional IGF initiatives should also be recognized as they are further expanding the importance and the inclusive multi-stakeholder Internet dialogue. For the first time this year, national and regional IGF initiatives had their own dedicated main session. We now have more than 70 NRA initiatives around the world, and around 40 of them were present with us this week to highlight their achievements. A big thanks go to all NIRs for including those who join us online. Thank you for your hard work. Dear colleagues, we thank so many people because indeed it takes all of them to make the IGF successful. Leading up to the 12th IGF next year, innovations in programming and intersessional activities will continue to be implemented in a bottom-up manner, based on feedback from the stakeholder community and in line with our new mandate for the greater participation from stakeholders from across the world, in particular from developing countries. Finally, we all wish this opportunity to thank the many donors. Some of them are in the room, some of them are not, for their financial contributions to the UN IGF Trust Fund. We count on your continued support. Your commitment to strengthen IGF will be crucial as we look forward to the next 10 years. We wish you productive outcomes in the coming year and look forward to seeing you again in the 12th IGF in 2017. I would like to conclude my remarks by thanking Mexico again Gracias, México. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zhu, for your remarks. Our next speaker is Mr. Andres Piazza, General Manager of the LAC TLD.
Good evening. I am honored to share some views as a member of the Internet technical community, and especially to do it in a country where I feel like home. So I will address you in Spanish from now on. Quiero felicitar a la Presidencia de México y especialmente a su vibrante comunidad por este éxito en el foro, el primero desde que el mandato del IGF fuera renovado por 10 años, validando al modelo de múltiples partes interesadas. Es un orgullo para la región haber demostrado estar a la altura de las circunstancias en este momento histórico. Y también lo es para la comunidad de Internet, que mediante un trabajo intenso e inclaudicable acercó posiciones, consensuó visiones sobre cómo gobernar funciones fundamentales para Internet y logró cristalizar el sueño de ejercer su propia supervisión en el hito institucional más grande de su corta historia. Sin embargo, la transición de la IANA fue un desafío relativamente simple en comparación con los problemas que enfrentamos desde ahora. Conectar a los desconectados, mantener los principios fundamentales que ha inspirado Internet y enfrentar a las disrupciones sin perder la condición de herramienta habilitadora para el ejercicio de los derechos humanos. No es menor, en un momento en el que algunos actores consideran que la vigencia de los mismos en Internet se encuentra amenazada o en retroceso, tal como expresaron aquellos que firmaron un manifiesto en esta ciudad. Los debates de este foro muestran evoluciones interesantes, siendo ejemplos tangibles los foros de mejores prácticas, el track conectando el nuevo billón y haciéndose cargo, obviamente, de estos desafíos. Si bien los foros multistakeholders han sido importantes para delimitar asuntos, para desplegar agendas, han tenido retroalimentaciones entre actores y entre sus diferentes niveles globales, regionales y nacionales, estos esfuerzos no se han reflejado todavía en los desarrollos de políticas, en las regulaciones, en los tratados, en los mecanismos de toma de decisiones a más alto nivel. Tenemos más trabajo, mientras la dificultad aumenta. Espero que nos sigamos viendo y con este nivel de compromiso por muchos años. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, señor Paza. Nuestro siguiente panelista es la señorita Paulina Gutiérrez, titular del programa Digital en México y América Central para Artículo 19.
Hola, me alegra estar aquí de pie como mexicana, representando Artículo 19, algunos grupos de la sociedad civil mexicana y, por supuesto, a todas aquellas personas que votaron a favor para que fuera yo quien diera esta ceremonia de clausura. Pretendo aprovechar este discurso para acotar algunas reflexiones y discusiones que se dieron durante esta semana. I will switch to English, not because I don't support speaking in Spanish here and in all Internet governance forums, but because I believe that delivering this message in English will allow everyone here to more easily grasp the spirit of my words. I was taught that every speech, especially if it is in a closing session when everyone is thinking on going home, should include a joke. So I promise to tell you one. But before I do that, let me give you a few reflections on this year's IGF. If we really want to enable inclusive and sustainable growth and promote social justice, there are issues that need to be resolved. specifically connecting the unconnected and ensuring that the internet is a real, rights-enabled public sphere. The internet is not finished. Current solutions are not perfect. It is, however, very apparent where the internet and democracy are broken, where they fail, when people do not have a voice, do not have access to information to make decisions, and where the rule of law is not upheld. People are dying trying to access or disseminate information. The murder of 10 journalists this year in my country have to mean something. We need to find answers for the current and dysfunctional dichotomies. They are undermining the human rights of individuals and communities. How can we build trust for the next billion when millions of dollars are spent on a surveillance apparatus that has proven to be ineffective? Thank you. Access, availability, and privacy can never be trumped by false assurances of security and public order. It does not make people feel safe or empowered, but it does censor and threaten those who dare to dissent. How are we going to guarantee access to the internet and bridge the digital and gender divides if we are exclusively thinking of access as a technical or economic problem, and not as an inclusive and instrumental right? Discussions of internet governance must answer some simple but deeply rooted questions. Access to what? Access by whom? Access through which infrastructure and technology? Users, particularly women and marginalized communities, are no passive actors. They should be co-creators of our future internet. Unfortunately, we won't be able to reach that level of progress if particular stakeholders prefer to restrict the internet transformative capabilities rather than contribute to its expansive and enabling nature. We need a public sphere where gender exclusion, discrimination, and misogyny are no longer chronic human rights violations that are fostered by impunity. Self-censorship will collapse democracies. Trust in the internet is necessary to ensuring their survival. So here comes the joke. When Einstein was a university professor at Princeton, he gave an exam to his students. His assistant came to him and said, "Professor Einstein, this exam, it is the same as the one given last week. You're asking them the same questions." To which Einstein said, "No worries. The questions are the same, but I changed the answers." We need different answers. We need more radical ideas, new visions and horizons, and more people on board to build new realities. So we need these forums for dialogue more than ever. I sincerely hope that events like this plant the seeds for collaboration, communication, and imaginaries where Latin American countries and the so-called Global South is included in the internet governance discussions in order to build a future that will lead us to an era where every human being can develop, flourish, and exercise their human rights, both online and offline. Finally, we would like to lend our voice of support to the Guadalajara Manifesto, issued by Brazilian civil society about their concerns regarding their democratic and internet rights concerns. The internet is not finished, and hopefully it will never be. In every decision we make about any element of the internet, we are writing history. We need to remember, we cannot go forward without looking back to ensure that we do not regress into mistakes of the past. so that together we can build an inclusive net and a future without oppression, and full of creativity, hope, and aspiration. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez. Our next speaker is Ms. Cheryl Miller, Director of International Public Policy and Regulatory Affairs, Verizon.
Buenos dias. I'm speaking this afternoon on behalf of the International Chamber of Commerce and its Business Action to Support Information Society initiative. Verizon has supported the IGF since its inception, and it's great to be able to witness its growth and to participate in the MAG on behalf of business. Whether large, medium-sized, or small, business depends on an open, stable, and trusted internet. The global business community is diverse. Its diversity spans across sectors and geographies and includes SMEs, women and minority-owned businesses, as well as large multinational corporations. This variety of vantage points is critical in formulating informed policy decisions that accurately address the needs of the Internet community. I'd like to thank and congratulate Mexico and the wonderful team of organizers and volunteers that have worked so hard to make this event a success. You made us all feel so welcome in this beautiful city. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the IGF Secretariat, the MAG Chair, and my fellow MAG members for their contribution to the continued growth of the IGF, and a special mention to the IGF newcomers and youth. You injected new energy and new perspectives into the discussions and workshops this year. I look forward to your continued engagement and IGF participation in the years ahead. Your voices are critical to the IGF's growth and sustainability. This week, we came together from all sectors and from all regions of the world with a common goal: to consider Internet policy options that can be leveraged for inclusive and sustainable growth to benefit all people. The 10-year IGF mandate renewal has given us a time frame and opportunity to build on the strengths of this forum, where multi-stakeholder cooperation through knowledge sharing, as well as safe and open debates, spreads invaluable understanding. Our work here in Guadalajara will greatly advance our efforts to leverage ICTs and the Internet to attain the UN's 17 universally adopted Sustainable Development Goals. Each goal is supported by or relevant to the use of ICT to drive social benefit and economic development in supporting critical areas of living. These include health, agriculture, sustainable consumption, education, urban planning, water conservation, energy conservation, and the reduction of inequalities. I am particularly pleased that this year we had a number of workshops and sessions focused on gender, the empowerment of women through ICT, and addressing barriers to women in the Internet space. These sessions were standing room only, which tells me that many of you also share my belief in the importance of these issues. The IGF's multi-stakeholder exchange facilitates understanding of the key Internet issues to date and highlights the variety of viewpoints on how we might meet the challenges ahead. This year, we targeted our main sessions to closely examine Internet governance in relation to the SDGs, national and regional initiatives, human rights, the future of Internet governance, trade agreements, policy options for connecting the next billions with an S, the work of dynamic coalitions, and emerging issues. Through our intersessional work, including our best practice forums, this IGF also delivered a multitude of case studies to consider when we return home. I know that despite this progress, we still have much work to do in shaping and in utilizing the various exchanges and knowledge sharing that make the IGF both unique and valuable. The delegates that meet at the IGF are actively working to strengthen the IGF's impact in solving real-world issues. One example I saw this week in the communities was the community's collaboration on the new One World Connected initiative. During the course of the IGF's intercessional work on connecting the unconnected, several delegates from across stakeholder groups began a new project to address issues related to connectivity. They met at the IGF last year, and the different discussions around access, local content, digital literacy, and women's empowerment inspired them to make an even larger contribution to the Internet community's ongoing work in these important issues. I watched the discussions continue and include a variety of new voices that provided invaluable input into the project's effort to collect data and provide a better understanding of what is working to connect people, what's not working, and how we can evaluate this information. This kind of multi-stakeholder collaboration, while seemingly small to some, may not have been possible anywhere other than at the IGF. And the warmth that the One World Connected team spread through their generous and open outreach to all through their booth activities made this IGF particularly memorable for me. As we look to the future of the IGF, the global business community hopes for continued cooperation among all stakeholders to work towards the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. We hope to create business models that can adapt to the future and ever-evolving circumstances, as well as methods to address employment, skills development, capacity building, and inclusion. And we continue to demonstrate how a flexible policy environment is needed for businesses to continue to invest and innovate as ICTs emerge as the vehicle for achieving common goals to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that no one, including the young, women, and those who are differently abled, are left behind. In all of this, it's important that we remember, at the end of the day, everything that we do here is about people. Regardless of the long acronyms, the gigabits, the technical definitions, it's all about people. Achieving sustainability requires a respectful and informed balance of interests among all stakeholders, based on meaningful engagement and a comprehensive understanding of the impact on Internet policy decisions. Private sector investment and innovation has transformed the Internet from an information exchange network to a platform for sustainable social and economic development. Let us continue our multi-stakeholder efforts to continue progress in this way. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, señora Miller. Me complace ahora presentar al señor Thomas Schneider, director adjunto de Asuntos Internacionales de la Oficina Federal de Telecomunicaciones de Suiza.
Buenas tardes. Primero, quiero sinceramente agradecer a nuestros amigos mexicanos y a todos que han contribuido en la organización de este IGF extraordinariamente interesante. Ha sido un placer para mí y para nuestra delegación estar aquí con todos vosotros en Guadalajara. For a government like mine, the IGF has been, since the beginning, an exciting opportunity to listen to, learn from, and meet people from all around the world and from all stakeholder groups. For us, dialogue with all of you is a necessary prerequisite to be able to together recognize and realize opportunities, identify challenges, find solutions that should allow all people all over the world to have a better life in the future, using the opportunities that the Internet and its services offer. Having actively participated at all IGFs, we have seen the IGF develop over time, and we are happy to see that the discussions on substance has also developed over the years, and we are definitely at the stage at a different stage than from where we have started back in Athens in 2006 on a lot of issues. With the prolonged mandate of the IGF for 10 years, we have now, so we think, a unique opportunity to reboost the IGF, to bring in new ideas, new formats for discussions, even more interactive formats, more tangible outcomes, and also for giving a higher profile to the issues discussed here through better connecting with other fora and other people that are discussing the same issues elsewhere. Switzerland has been a strong supporter of multi-stakeholder dialogue on internet governance since the very beginning. As some of you may remember, we have hosted the first World Summit on the Information Society in Geneva in 2003. We have facilitated the outcome that led to the working group, to the creation of the working group on internet governance, which has been the first multi-stakeholder forum, a small one, but an important one, to discuss internet governance in Geneva from 2004 to 2005. We have supported the creation of the IGF as a result of the second World Summit on the Information Society in Tunis in 2005. The Swiss government has been the first donor to the Secretariat of the IGF to allow it to start its work and to take off the IGF as a process. We have been the third largest donor in the first 10 years from 2006 to 2015. We have been among the initiators of the biggest regional IGF structure, the Eurodic, and we have hosted the second Eurodic conference in Geneva in 2009 together with the European Broadcasting Union. We have continued to support the multi-stakeholder model all over the years and we will continue to do so. And as the host of the UN and many other IGOs and private institutions that deal with IG issues, Switzerland has a special responsibility, and we do also have a special interest in the dialogue on internet governance with all stakeholders. It is therefore of utmost importance for the Swiss government that there will be an opportunity for the global internet community to meet again at the next IGF in 2017. For this reason, we have undertaken in the past weeks all possible efforts to facilitate and support the organization of the IGF 2017 in Geneva, so that the IGF can come home to the city where it was born 13 years ago, the discussion on internet governance. The dates that we have given by our colleagues from the United Nations in Geneva for the IGF 2017 are 18 to 21 December. We know that this is rather late in the year, but everybody should nevertheless be able to get home safely and in time for the end of the year vacations. And during that period of the year, there will be enough hotels available in the small but interesting city of Geneva at good rates to accommodate all of you. So this is how far we have come with the preparations in a very short time. We'll be working with our friends at the IGF Secretariat at the UN in Geneva with UNDESA to sort out the details in the next weeks and months so that we will all be able to meet in 1 year's time in Geneva. I have heard that some of you have not yet been to Geneva or to Switzerland at all. But you may know that we have nice lakes to swim in, beautiful mountains to climb up to in summer, to ski down in winter, and that is not a joke, that's true. And that you can eat a lot of hot cheese, smelly hot cheese, during winter time. So I would like to show you now a short video that will not concentrate on the mountains and on the cheese and on the cows and whatever, and on the watches, but it will concentrate and focus on a particular feature of Geneva that we are very proud of, which is special, I think, for us as well, for many other people, which is the so-called Genève International, which is a space for international dialogue on peace, human rights, but also on technology and internet governance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schneider, for your remarks and the very gracious and generous offer. We look forward to being in Geneva. I would like now to invite the chair of the 2016 meeting, Mr. Victor Luganis, to make some closing remarks, please.
Mr. Yu Wanzhou, with your permission. Muy buenas tardes, tengan todos ustedes. Qué viaje ha sido, qué se siente realmente la energía, el cansancio de muchos, pero también que hemos avanzado bastante en la agenda, un sentido de satisfacción permeado. Recapitulamos y recogemos muchos comentarios de todos ustedes y nos los llevamos a casa. Hace un año, aún antes de la renovación del mandato, México refrendó en Brasil su compromiso para ser anfitrión de este evento. Durante los meses posteriores, trabajamos con dedicación en diversos temas necesarios para recibir a toda esta comunidad. Este evento no habría sido posible sin el apoyo del staff operativo, de infraestructura, de tecnología, y también a los más de 300 voluntarios y a sus profesores que nos los prestaron y que incansablemente nos guiaron y nos apoyaron durante estos 5 días. Les quiero compartir un video. De verdad, no tengo palabras para agradecerles, muchachos. Durante esta semana, más de 2,000 personas provenientes de 83 países nos citamos aquí en México para intercambiar puntos de vista y dialogar en torno a las cuestiones más relevantes para la gobernanza de Internet. El diálogo se dio, abierto, franco. Hace un año nosotros nos dimos a la tarea de lanzar un grupo de iniciativa en el país. Las voces existen, las voces son reales, pero también reconocemos que estamos muy diseminados. Nos dio la oportunidad esta plataforma de acercarnos un poco más, de entender los temas, y los podemos platicar y los podemos dialogar. Está en nosotros continuar con esta conversación. En conjunto, integrantes de todas las partes interesadas compartimos nuestras opiniones, experiencias, en pro de un diálogo informado, diverso, inclusivo, abierto y participativo. Desde su primera edición, el Foro de Gobernanza de Internet se ha consolidado como el principal espacio a nivel global para generar puentes entre los integrantes de la comunidad, convirtiéndose en un referente a los esfuerzos internacionales en la materia. Esto se tradujo en el apoyo generalizado de la comunidad internacional para obtener la renovación de su mandato por un periodo de 10 años más, en el marco de la evaluación de los resultados de la Cumbre Mundial sobre la Sociedad de la Información en diciembre del año pasado. En este contexto, la edición del foro, que concluye hoy, tristemente, nostálgicamente, se convirtió en la primera de un nuevo ciclo, en el que trazamos ya la ruta hacia el futuro con un enfoque inclusivo y sostenible, como lo mencionamos en el tema de este foro, teniendo en cuenta la Agenda 2030, el espíritu de la Cumbre Mundial sobre la Sociedad de la Información y el rol que juega el estar conectados en este contexto. Además, las discusiones enfatizaron la necesidad de seguir fomentando alianzas en la comunidad, a fin de fortalecer la cooperación internacional en temas relevantes como en el ejercicio de derechos humanos, ciberseguridad, Internet de las cosas, inteligencia artificial, propiedad intelectual, entre muchos otros. Esta participación variada y plural quedó demostrada cuando dentro de las cerca de 200 sesiones, 32 fueron llevadas a cabo en formato de foro abierto, convirtiéndose en un máximo de este tipo de sesiones en la historia del evento. Además, y gracias a los esfuerzos del grupo, asesores de múltiples partes interesadas y al apoyo del Secretariado de Naciones Unidas para el Foro de Gobernanza de Internet, esta edición del foro contó con nuevos formatos de sesiones, permitiendo la participación de más personas, especialmente nuestros jóvenes. El Gobierno de México está comprometido con los principios y valores del Foro para la Gobernanza de Internet. Es por ello que hemos participado de manera proactiva en los esfuerzos locales, regionales y globales en la materia. En México, seguiremos trabajando con los diversos actores de la comunidad a través del Grupo de Iniciativa. En América Latina y el Caribe, a través de esfuerzos como el Foro Regional de Gobernanza de Internet y el mecanismo ILAC de la Comisión Económica para América Latina y el Caribe, que México preside desde el 2015. En el plano global, México seguirá colaborando con el Foro para la Gobernanza de Internet a través del grupo de asesor de múltiples partes interesadas y en los diversos esfuerzos generados por la comunidad. Sabemos que estos esfuerzos son fundamentales para darle forma al uso y a la evolución del Internet. Gracias a su modelo de gestión descentralizado, abierto, participativo, el Internet es ya la herramienta más poderosa para fomentar el acceso a la información, ejercer derechos humanos y promover el desarrollo de las personas y de las naciones. Quiero agradecer a esta comunidad de Internet, comunidad técnica, académica, representaciones gubernamentales que acudieron, sector privado que nos apoyaron y sociedad civil, porque su participación ha sido fundamental para dar forma a las discusiones que nutren este gran foro. Finalmente, agradecemos a Naciones Unidas por habernos dado este gran privilegio, este gran honor de ser sede de este foro, a las entidades federales que nos apoyaron, al Gobierno del Estado de Jalisco y al Ayuntamiento de Zapopan, y al Palacio de la Cultura y Comunicación, en el cual estamos hoy. Así como a todos aquellos que hicieron que el Foro de Gobernanza de Internet México 2016 fuera una realidad. Así que siendo las 5:52 de la tarde del día 9 de diciembre de 2016, declaro formalmente clausurada la 11ª reunión del Foro para la Gobernanza de Internet. Que tengan un viaje placentero a casa y los vemos pronto aquí en México.
cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. ¿Se la saben? Dice, ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. ¡Sí, señor! Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. ¡Eso mero! ¡Seguro que sí! De domingo a domingo, cielito lindo, te vengo a ver. ¿Cuándo será domingo, cielito lindo, para volver? De domingo a domingo, cielito lindo, te vengo a ver. ¿Cuándo será domingo, cielito lindo, para volver? ¿Cómo dice? Venga. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, muy amables.